Hello. Yet again we have come across a very important topic, important as well as interesting topic, which is electric flux. So, how do we understand what is electric flux? In simple way, flux means the flow of something. This something may be flow of water or flow of air, right? Or flow of electric field lines. Whatever we are going to discuss here, which is we are going to discuss here. And in the coming classes, we will also know that it is also the flux of magnetic field or magnetic field lines. So this is what we mean by flux. Flux means flow of something. So here the interesting point is we are willing to find out the amount of flux. How much flux of, or we can say flow of particular quantity is there. So the quantity of flux or quantity of the field lines, or I can say water, or you can simply imagine the air, it also depends upon the region through which it is crossing. The interesting thing is what is the flux or what is the flow through a given region or surface or cross section, more precisely cross section. So that also depends upon the how much area of that cross section or region is there. More is the area, more is the flow through that particular region or area or cross section. But there is one more thing which is very much of importance here, and that is the orientation of the surface area, or we can say cross section. Orientation with respect to the flow of air, water, or here in this case we will be discussing the electric field lines or simply electric field. So it is very much important to consider the orientation of the surface in which it is lying with respect to the we can say electric field lines. Let us take the example of this simple surface. I am taking this paper, I am holding it towards the camera, then you will be able to see, because your eyesight is perpendicular to this surface area, or you can say the light rays are coming straight away towards you, towards the camera. Then you will be able to see whole the area of this surface. But as I try to rotate it, now you will see an area which is less than the earlier one. So this is the effect of orientation. If this was the earlier situation, now this is the situation. There is less amount of area which is visible to you through the camera. Okay. So that means orientation of the surface also plays a very important role whenever we are willing to find out the amount of flow through that cross section area, in addition to the total area, right? So there are two important things of a surface through which we are willing to find out the flux or flow of any quantity. And these two important things which are associated with the surface or cross section are: one, its area, how large is the area, and second one, its orientation with respect to that flow, whether it is the plane of this area is perpendicular to the flow or it is at some other angle, right? So that is a very important we can say consideration, and to include that information in our discussion, we define a very important term related with the surface area, which include both these two informations, and that is the area vector. So what is an area vector? Area vector is nothing but, suppose that we have this area, the area of this surface is ds, for example, it is ds. Then there will be a normal vector. Then there will be a vector which is normal to the surface of this cross section. So this is the vector which is normal to the surface, called as the area vector. This area vector, it is always normal to the surface. So it is representing the direction of orientation of this surface as well as its magnitude. So how do we write this area vector? As with respect to vector algebra, this area vector is simply written as the amount of area, magnitude of this vector into the unit vector which is taken along the area vector. So we can take a unit vector, for example n, as it is the normal. So this is the symbol we can give. So it is simply is equal to n cap. So this is how we represent an area vector, right? You can imagine again this situation. Here it is the surface, then an area vector will be normal to the surface and pointing in outward direction, outward to the surface, not inward, right? It is outward. It may be taken in this direction and it may be taken in this direction if it is a plane surface, right? But if it is a curved surface, then the area vector has to be taken always in outward direction. Or if we have a spherical surface, for example, then area vector will always be taken in outward direction, radially outward direction, which is normal to the surface. So this is what we understand from the area vector. So let me revise it once again. Area vector is a vector which is normal to the surface, which is giving the information about the orientation of the surface, inclination of the surface with respect to the flow, right? So this is about area vector. Now we define very term which is we are interested here. It is electric flux. So here electric flux means flux of electricity, or we can say flow of electricity. Electricity, or we can say electric field lines, right? So how do we define it? Suppose we have some area of any arbitrary shape, and this area, or we can say this surface, is placed in the electric field which we are taking just as shown here. So this is the electric field, and this area is not along the direction of electric field. How do we understand that? By defining its area vector. So in order to make the calculation easy and to define the electric flux more easily, we take a small area portion of this total surface. So let the area of this small portion is ds, right? This ds is in the plane of this whole surface S, having surface area S. So we draw a normal to the surface, this surface ds. For example, it is oriented in this direction. So this is the area vector. This is normal to the surface. And because it is normal to the surface and surface is lying in some electric field E, so there is, for example, an angle theta between the area vector and the electric field. Means electric field is in this direction and the surface is in this direction, right? It is inclined. It is not parallel to the perpendicular to the electric field. It is something at different angle. Then there will be a vector. Let me draw it in this case. Electric field is in this way. So area vector will be somewhat in this direction, right? Normal to the surface in outward direction. Okay. Then electric flux, how do we define it? It is the electric flux through a surface which is placed in the electric field. It is the number of electric field lines passing through that surface normal to it. Please focus on these two words. Number of electric field lines normal to the surface. So if this is the situation, this electric field is not normal to the surface. So we have to take only the number of field lines which are crossing the surface in a direction normal to the surface. So for doing that, we have to take the component of electric field which is normal to the surface. The component of electric field which is normal to the surface, it will be along the area vector. This is the important thing you have to remember here. Okay. So if this is the electric field along this direction, let me draw it separately here. This is electric field and this is ds unit vector, and this is the angle between them. Then the component of electric field along the area vector, it will be E cos theta, and the other component, it will be perpendicular to it. That is not to be taken here because we are interested only in the normal electric field, right? Other one will be parallel to the surface, which will have no flux, because these field lines cannot, the field lines along this component of electric fields, they will not be able to cross the surface. That is the way. So this is the only component of the electric field lines or electric field which is normal to the surface, or we can say along the area vector, right? So this component is the normal component of electric field normal to the surface, which is along the area vector. It is equal to E cos theta, where theta is the angle between the area vector and the electric field. So therefore, due to this small area, the electric flux d phi, we write it by the phi, and because area is small, ds, therefore the flux is d phi. This is equal to strength of electric field which is normal to the surface into the surface area. The surface area. So this simply becomes this normal component of electric field normal to the surface. This becomes E cos theta into ds. So that simply can be written as E ds cos theta. So this is the flux through this small area ds, right? We can also write the flux in terms of vector quantity. However, flux is a scalar quantity, but the terms on which it depends are the vectors, the electric field and the area vector. So it can be written as E vector dot, it is the dot product of E vector and ds vector, area vector. So this is the magnitude of electric flux, and this is the vector form of the electric flux in its vector form. However, d phi is a scalar quantity, right? Because the dot product of two vectors represent a scalar quantity. And what about the units? Electric field has the units Newton per coulomb, and area has the units meter square, or you can write it simply Newton meter square per coulomb. So these are the units of for electric flux. So this is the small electric flux due to small area of this whole area. If we are interested by the total flux through the surface S, then which is phi, this is equal to, then that can be found by integrating this term over the whole surface area S. So this simply means integration of E dot ds over the whole surface area S. So this gives the total electric flux through the whole surface S, having surface area S. Okay, so that is about electric flux. And what if this surface is closed? For example, it may be a spherical surface. If it is a spherical surface in the form of a sphere, or in the form of a cube, or in the form of a rectangle, or in any other form, but it is a closed surface area, it may be arbitrary, it may have any arbitrary shape, but it is a closed surface area. In that case, what is the flux through that? You simply find the surface area of that closed surface, closed S surface, d phi, or which you can simply write as symbolically as you put the circle sign with the integration. This is called as the closed surface integral over S of the d phi, which you can write as E dot ds over closed surface. So this is how we represent it mathematically. But what mathematics do we understand from this equation, or what physics we understand from this mathematical equation? We are interested in finding the electric flux or electric field through a surface in a direction normal to it. So we are interested in the total electric field or total electric flux through the given surface area. By total electric flux mean we are interested in finding the strength of the field through the region, in a region. So that is the significance of electric flux. Electric flux simply means we are finding the strength of electric field through a surface. It may be an open surface, it may be a closed surface. So that is electric flux. To conclude, I am taking one short numerical. So this is the definition of electric flux. Here it is. This or this is the magnitude and this is the vector form. You must keep this thing in mind. Okay. So question is very much simple, so that you will get the clear idea what we are discussing here. So flux is equal to E dot ds, or you can take it as E ds cos of theta. Okay, so question here is, we are given an electric field E is equal to 6 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 4 k cap. So this is the electric field in its vector form, and it is passing through a surface area of, for example, if we are using the symbol ds, this is equal to 20 units. It may be meter square, it may be centimeter square, we are given units here. And this surface area is in YZ plane. So this is the important thing to note. We have to find out the flux, electric flux through this surface area. Now first we have to consider the directions of E as well as ds, as we have discussed here. Directions are of most important here, most importance. So to make it clear, suppose that here it is the coordinate system. This is x axis, this is y axis, and this is z axis. The electric field is in somewhere, for example, in this direction, because it is depending upon all the three coordinates, right? And the surface area, it is parallel to the YZ plane, or we can say it is in YZ plane. So this is the surface area. So this is the surface area. So if surface area is along in YZ plane, then its unit vector, I can define as the area vector, which is ds of 20 units is given here. Its vector, area vector, will be directed parallel to the x-axis or along the x-axis. So this is the ds vector here. So this, ds vector. So in vector form, this ds, this can be written as 20, because this area vector is along the x direction, so it can be written as 20 I cap, because I is the unit vector along x direction. So this is how we write the area vector. This is the electric field, this is the area vector. We can substitute the values here. So therefore d phi simply means E dot ds. So that means E, which is 6 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 4 k cap dot ds, which is 20 I cap. We find the dot product of these two vector quantities. So I gives the value with the I only, right? So it is 6 into 20 into I dot I, and all other terms, the product of this quantity I with the other unit vectors gives the value 0. So this is 1 and we get the value 120 units. From vector algebra you can multiply by these two vectors by the dot product of, or we can say scalar product of two vector, and we get the flux to be 120 units. So this is how we understand what is electric flux. Electric flux simply measures the strength of electric field through a surface by finding the number of field lines which are crossing the surface in a direction normal to it. If it is not normal to the surface, electric field is not normal to the surface, then we have to take the component of electric field which is normal to the surface. So that is all about electric flux. Thank you.